Okay, it is December 3rd, 2023. And so I am still having issues with trying to set up my shopping cart. I'm going to try to call Square and see if I can get a hold of customer service, but I keep trying to call them and email them, and they'll write me back, and then I'll send them proof. They'll say, the one person said it's on hold, and I said, well, I did pay off, the small amount. They offered me a settlement thing for this small dispute, and then I paid that off, and so there shouldn't be any reason why there's still a hold on there. And then they didn't get back to me. And see, the thing is that I have my whole website linked to merchant account. So then if you change a merchant account, then you have to have the whole shopping cart changed. So it's not easy just to flip from different merchant accounts, because then you got to reprogram the whole shopping cart too. So I mean, this is the problem. This is a problem for people who take credit cards. It's just ridiculous what I'm having to go through here. So, but I wanted to touch on some things, because I'm just really tired of these issues that I keep having with the police, and I've talked about this multiple times. And so I mean, I still have had, so ever since, so after I was on that court date with Hennepin County, I had sheriffs from Hennepin County drive by where I'm at here, as like an intimidation tactic. It's like an intimidation tactic. There would be like I'd be going down the lane, and like 5 or 6 of them would drive by the other lane, and they would make sure that I would see them, and it would just be like obvious stuff like that. Like, I mean, they're crazy. It's crazy. The police scare me. They scare me. Most of the problem that I've had with the police have been Masons, and I know they are, because the cities that I've been getting pulled over or whatever, they all had the Masonic lodges, and so, and this is an issue, because if your oath is to the secret society instead of the Constitution, then then you shouldn't be in that position of power. Then you shouldn't be allowed to be in a position of power, because your first and foremost oath is to your secret society instead of the Constitution of the United States. Okay? And so, but yeah, I mean, I'll be out walking my dog, and I'll have, they'll just be, or I'll be driving to work, they'll sitting there, or I'll be driving, whatever. I mean, they're stalking me. It's a police stalking issue. It's the Masons, and it's also an illegal surveillance issue too, because they're stalking me by my phone. They're tracking me by my phone. So, it's also it's an issue of illegal surveillance and stalking, and it's a violation of my privacy. They're just so in the wrong in every way, and then plus you're in total violation of your oath of office on top of it. You're not protecting and servicing the community. You're abusing your authority to stalk me. It was right after I did that where I uploaded that video with the court date with Hennepin County, that there was these things, and now they're starting to do it again. It's just like a. And so I have talked about this before, where when I drove out to DC, I talked about this video where I did drive out to DC when they were trying to impeach President Trump in January of 2020, I believe it was exactly. So, I drove out there, and I was in the Maryland, DC area, and I had them stalking me, literally sitting outside my hotel in both times, in both hotels that I was in, just stalking right outside my hotel. I took pictures of them, and I had that. This has gone on for me for years, and I'm tired of it, and I know they're all Masons too, and it's like, I'm sorry, how did you know I was at this hotel if you weren't illegally surveilling me? And they're illegally surveilling me by my phone, otherwise they wouldn't have even known I was in the hotel. And so I had gotten my my sworn statement to the Trump to the DOJ, the Trump people, because I had evidence against all of the people on the Armed Forces Committee that were trying to impeach Trump at the time, because I had been trying to write into those same people, and report the crimes at the military bases. And those are the same people that were trying to impeach Trump and make false charges. And so I had gotten my sworn statement in, and he was acquitted. He was not impeached, and this is, that anytime the media tries to spin this whole thing like he was impeached, and he was never impeached, he was acquitted. But the way they word it, they make it seem like he was impeached, but he was not. He was acquitted. And then I never told this story, but then when I was driving away from DC, because I dropped it off and I got out of DC as soon as I could, while this whole thing was going down. And as I was driving out of DC, I was driving I was driving out of state. I had either a sheriff or a police in like every single county I drove through for 3 states or more. Every single county, I had them watching me. So this is illegal surveillance, and this is stalking for me, and this has gone on for years now, and this is also the issue that I'm having in South Dakota. They are all they're all Masons. They're all Masons. Okay. My sheriff is a Mason in South Dakota, and the county is McPherson County. It's Sheriff Dave Ackerman. He's a Mason. The judge there are Masons. The Rodney Hoffman, who is the mayor of Long Lake, who we know is the one who committed the murder, is a Mason. So it's all, and the county attorney, Austin Hoffman, is a Mason. And the Attorney General, Marty Jackley, is a Mason. So, do you think that, they're all in a secret society. So that's why we have no justice, because they're not going to violate their oath of office by arresting Rodney, because that would be a violation of their secret oaths. And this is what is going on in the whole system, is that a lot of the law enforcement and judges are Masons, and they're not, and they're in these secret oaths, and they're not upholding the Constitution like they should be. They have these secret oaths where they're doing secret deals. They are in total violation of their oaths of office that they're supposed to be serving. Okay, so nobody's talking about it, and I know there's Masons everywhere. I know how powerful they are, but I'm just bringing up the problem. And a lot of people know who they are. There's a Masonic lodge everywhere. There's Masonic lodges everywhere. Some of them are nice. It can be nice. But some of them, I've just had nothing but problems with most of them. There's the Masonic Lodge right in Aberdeen, Aberdeen, South Dakota, and then the other issue I had with the police, the other issue I had with the police was in Roseville, Minnesota here, when I was having all kinds of problems with my mail being tampered with. And this was back in 2014, I think. And I was living in like the little Canada, Roseville area. And I just wanted it documented. And so I called the police and I just, had them come out and I showed them pictures. And this Roseville police officer did the same thing that they did to me in New York. Instead of document it, he called an ambulance and had me brought in for an evaluation, like they did in New York. Like I was talking about that video in New York when the police officer arrested me when I was trying to walk back to my car, and instead of arresting the people in the car lot who were trying to actually steal my car in New York, I ended up arrested and taken to a hospital for a evaluation. So I mean, and there's a big Masonic lodge in Roseville, Minnesota. So I mean, these are the Masons I know are involved in a lot of my harassment, and to me it's just doesn't make any sense that that they should be allowed in these positions, because they have these secret oaths, and they shouldn't be allowed to be in these positions of power because it's like, that your first and foremost oath is your Mason oath instead of the Constitution. Okay, so, I don't feel that they have any business being in law enforcement or as a judge or anything. They just, they have proven to me that they don't have any position being there, and so I, if I would have been in some kind of, secret society or, some good old boy system in Arizona where I just, turned the other way, and didn't say anything, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, secret handshake, then then I wouldn't have uncovered what I uncovered, which was a very important thing. It's $2.7 million embezzlement that they were, and then it turned out, and then I was able to get that more information to Trump, and then he was able to figure out how much corruption was going on in Arizona, and then was able to link McCain with ISIS, and was able to link that whole thing and be able to find out where ISIS was being funded. I mean, these are big deals. It's important for people to be honest that are in positions of government or police or, because, you have responsibilities for the public. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that, and if if you can't just be like, have just basic honesty and, the most basic things. I mean, they're illegally surveilling me, illegally pulling me over. It's just like, I mean, they're just doing everything illegal you can imagine to me, these Mason cops. And so I'm just tired of it. Since 2012, I've been pulled over. I've talked about this before. I mean, I've been pulled over 50 times. I'm tired of these police. And then I find this article. Oh, and then the other thing is that I had an unmarked black police officer follow me as I was walking my dog a few months back over this, and I was just walking, and all of a sudden he put his lights on like he was going to try to arrest me right on the street. And so I go running into somebody's yard, and then I turn around and I take a picture of him to try to get a picture to see what kind of vehicle this was. and he drove off real fast because he knew, obviously he knew that he was doing something wrong. And then I talked to my friend John that week, and he said he had the same thing happen. And he had, in the middle of the night, he went to go check on his mom because he takes care of his elderly mom, and he went to go check on her in the middle of the night, and there was an unmarked black vehicle just sitting out in the front of his yard, in front of his house where he takes, and so he went outside and he turned the light on and peeked outside, and then the guy took off, and he said he was on a computer doing something, and he took off. So, I don't know what that was about, but that was another incident. So this is so it's like, that's why Dinesh D'Souza has that movie, Police State. Are we turning into a police state? Yeah, I think we're pretty darn close. They're pretty scary, the police here. They really are. And then I didn't know this personally until somebody told me that, apparently a lot of our police have been being trained by Israel. IDF, so this is something I didn't know. So apparently Georgia, had this big incident happen, and it wasn't a good thing. Apparently they've been being trained they have some kind of a program with Israel. It's a police exchange program with the state of Israel, run through Georgia State University and Georgia International Law Enforcement Exchange. But it didn't do anything good. It doubled the fatal shootings in Georgia doubled 2017 and 18, 77%. So it was in the 6 years following 2010, 184 people were shot and killed by the police, almost half of them unarmed or shot in the back. And that so that's in Georgia. That's happening. In 2019, Georgia already recorded 22 fatal police shootings. Okay, so I never heard this before, but apparently there's a bunch of IDF over here that have been involved in training our police, some kind of police exchange program with Israel. So, and that's, and so what's that about? Or what are they over here, training our police for? That's why, I just have a lot of trust issues with the police, especially what would have happened to me. And, I wore the uniform too, and I just had no, they've been so disrespectful, even if I show my military ID or anything, and even if I show them, what I uncovered, I uncovered this crime, I'm an honorably discharged veteran. They don't care. They're so disrespectful. It's just, where's your respect? It's just, that's why, if you show no respect to me and I wear the uniform, why should I respect you and your uniform? That's how I feel, you don't show any respect. Why should I show respect? So, then apparently there's some kind of big thing that is happening with, I guess some kind of big brothel bust. A high-end brothel network has been busted, involving some, some high-level people over here, including, I think, some judges and some, it says lawyers, officers, elected officials, are apparently involved in some kind of brothel network. So apparently that is been that has been that has apparently been found out recently. It's a prostitution ring that is part of a Chinese espionage plot. I guess a bunch of people got caught up in this somehow. I don't know the full story exactly, but there are some, like high-level people in positions of power in the United States that apparently were involved. So, anyway, I just wanted to mention these things about the police, and I don't know what's going on with this thing with Israel training the police, but I just don't think, and I bet you anything that judge in New York that's on Trump's case, I bet he's probably a Mason. I think, a lot of these judges are Masons, and a lot of people in positions of power are Masons. And, I've met some people who are Masons that are nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, and it's not like they're all, but it's just that the problem that I have is that that's your first and foremost oath is your Mason oath to your Mason community instead of the Constitution of the United States and the community that you serve, then you shouldn't be in that position of power because you're conflicted. So that's the problem that I have. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just basic common sense, to me. So that's what I just wanted to do this video today on that. Because I'm just sick of all this corruption. And I'm sick of being harassed because I have been harassed nonstop, as a whistleblower since, I've been a whistleblower since 2011. I mean, most of the whistleblowers are dead now. I mean, it's a miracle that I'm even alive. I mean, it really is. I mean, it really is a miracle that I'm alive. And I'm thankful for that I'm alive. I mean, it truly is a miracle. And, that's a lot of people can't believe it. Can't believe that I'm alive. I mean, what I've been through. And, but it has been living hell. And there hasn't been one single whistleblower agency that has done anything to help me. So, and I've contacted all of them, like all the ones that you see that say that they're whistleblower agencies, asking for donations or something. I mean, not one of them has helped the whistleblowers. They're all just some kind of sham. They say that they're helping whistleblowers, but they're not. You're better off just going directly to help the whistleblower directly instead of through an agency, because we are definitely not getting any help through any of these agencies. And so, and it's very frustrating too. It's like, you have no idea how hard it is to be a whistleblower. Most people. It's, my whole life has changed. My whole life has never been the same. For 11 years now. I mean, no soldier should ever have to go through this, let alone, like no whistleblower for any agency should have to go through such living hell. Whatever you're trying to report. There's supposed to be these whistleblower protection laws. What happened to these laws that are supposed to protect us? I mean, we're supposed to be totally protected, and none of that is happening. And, and there's supposed to be these organizations protecting us, and that they're not doing it. And so, and then on top of it, you have, law enforcement that's supposed to be doing protecting and serving, and then you're harassing me instead of protecting and serving me. So, yeah, I have a problem with that. So, as you can imagine. So, this type of thing needs to be exposed, and that's why I'm talking about it. We have to expose these type of things, and because you can't make changes unless you know what the problem is. The problem is most of these people are in these secret societies. So that's why I'm doing this video today. Okay.